Hey, hi everyone. My name is Yash, and today I welcome you back to my YouTube channel Crazy Cloud. This is the seventh video of LWC learning series, and in this video, we will be talking about the imperative method call in LWC. In the previous video, we have seen that how to call Apex classes, Apex methods using wire services. But in this video, we will be talking about the imperative method call. So if you have not watched if you haven't watched the previous videos yet, I'll provide the link in the description box below. You can go and watch them. So without getting any delay, let's get started. So what we know is here it is our LWC and here it is our Salesforce classes and methods, right? Classes and methods. So let's see, whenever we want to call Apex classes from LWC, there are two ways. The first one is the first one is to use wire services. In the previous video, which was the sixth video, in the previous video we have learned that how to use wire services to call Apex classes. Correct? This wire services gets automatically called whenever the component gets loaded, right? But there is another way to call Apex classes from LWC, which is imperative calling. Imperative calling means whenever we want to call our Apex class from LWC using any user action. So what we want to call LWC, we want to call our Apex classes from our LWC components, but not using wire services. We have another option of imperative method calling. Imperative method calling is basically calling an Apex class by any user action or user interaction. So what user interaction means? Suppose we have created our LWC component, and in LWC we have a button is click. So when if we want that whenever user clicks onto this button, I want to call my Apex class and fetch some data, or let's say uh, we have an input search box here. Whenever user starts typing something, suppose Y, so I want all the accounts which start from Y. Correct? If I type A, I want all the accounts which starts from A. For this, we need to call Apex class, and this is called imperative method calling. Imperative method calling. So, what is imperative method calling? Whenever we want to call whenever we want to call Apex classes from LWC component by any user interaction. Whenever user interacts with something. Correct? So let's go to our VS Code and see how to call Apex classes using imperative method calling. So first let's create a component and name it like imperative method calling. Correct? And save this component, open all the HTML and meta XML as well. Let me copy the meta XML code and save it. Let's close both of the meta XML files, and now let's create one Apex class, imperative method calling. Right, this is our Apex class. Let's remove this and create one method which can return a string, public static string, my method, and return, let's say, okay, let's say it is accepting a parameter as string user input, and here string str equals to hello and the name, hello user input, correct, and return str here, correct. So what I'm doing is I'll will create an input box. Okay, let me tell you what we are gonna do. We'll create an LWC component, and in LWC what we are gonna do is we'll create an input box, and here is a button. So whatever user types into this input box, let's say enter your name. So my name is Yash. If I type Yash into this input box and click on this button, hello Yash should get printed. है ना? Why? Because I will send this Yash as a parameter to this method, and hello Yash, the apex method will return hello Yash. Correct? Let's save this class, deploy the source. Okay, now, okay, while it is deploying, let's create our HTML code. First, we know that to make it more beautiful, we always use lightning card. Correct? In lightning card, there are few attributes which are title, let's say imperative, method, method calling, correct, and icon name should be standard action, sorry, standard count, and one class. This class is for the padding, SLDS card underscore body underscore inner, correct. Now let's create one input box, lightning input. In lightning input, let's give it an attribute of placeholder, enter your name, and to fetch this data we know that we have an attribute of on change. Using on change we can fetch the data whatever user gives to this input box, and into this on change we need to uh, make an JavaScript call, like we need to call in JavaScript method. So we'll create a method as handle change, correct. Now on to click off button, lightning button, let's say label should be click, and variant should be brand, on click should be handle click, correct. Now let's create a method of handle change into our JavaScript file. Handle change, it will take event as a parameter. Let's say I'm creating a variable of user input in JS, correct. And this handle change in this handle change method will provide this value user input equals to event dot not value, correct. The previous videos we have already seen that how to fetch data from an input box. So if you do not know how to fetch data, I will suggest you to go and watch the previous videos of data binding. Now I'm creating a handle click method, and on to click of this button I want to pass this user input to our apex method here, and apex method will return hello user input from to our JavaScript file, our LWC component, correct. So let's say uh, to call any apex method, in the previous video we learned that to call any apex method, we need to import that method into our JavaScript file. So let's import my method from @salesforce apex slash class name dot the method name. The method name is my method, and this can be anything. This is I have not written my method just because the method name is my method. This is just a variable. You can even type your name as well, right? So for now, let's keep it my method. Now, on to click of this button, I want to call our apex method, and that is exactly what imperative method call is. So how to call this method? Let me tell you. So whatever method you have imported, just type that my method, and into my method it takes a parameter. It takes like if your apex method is taking parameter, it will take parameter. If not, then leave this bracket as blank. But currently our apex method is accepting the parameters. So how to send parameters? Into this curly braces, into this small braces, we need to pass a JSON like structure, right? And in this, first you need to type the parameter name of apex class, and then colon, and then your value of JavaScript sorry user input in JS. This is the way you pass parameters to your apex method. Suppose if your apex method is not taking any parameter, then you just need to pass empty small brackets, nothing else. But if your what say apex method is taking accepting some parameters, then you need to pass a JSON like structure, right? So the first thing is your apex parameter name, exact name should be here, user input, and then your JavaScript variable, correct? Suppose if your apex method is accepting two parameters or more than one parameters, then what you need to do, you just need to make a comma and second parameter, second param, this second param should be your apex parameter name, and then any JavaScript variable, correct? So let's do one thing, remove this is how you call apex method. Now this whenever you call apex method, it will definitely return something, or let's say if do not return something, no problem. You always need to handle this dot then. This is the way to handle your result. It accepts what say arrow function result, and then in result, let's say output from apex. Whatever your apex method is returning, if it consists of data, that data will come into result. So now output from apex should equals to result, correct? And nothing, and then you have to dot catch error. I'll definitely explain each and everything here. Let me type first log error. Okay, so what we have done here is, this is the way to call an apex class by imperative method calling, right? First you need to write the method name which you have imported here, this variable name my method name, right? My method. Then into the small brackets you have to pass a JSON if your only if your as apex method is taking parameters, right? Else leave the small brackets as blank. Then dot then is nothing but a try catch block. It is just a try and catch block. So if your Apex method is not returning any error, it the execution will go to the dot then. If your Apex method is returning some errors, it will go to the error, right? It will go to the catch block. So now let's see, let's type this output from Apex into our HTML. If you have any doubts regarding this imperative method calling, you can ping me on LinkedIn or below this video. Unable to find action method referenced as my method. My method is not there because we have not annotated it with aura enabled. See, we have seen the error. What error comes when we do not use aura enabled? What it say? Unable to find apex action. Why? Because this method is into your Salesforce org, but your LWC component cannot see that method because this method is not visible to LWC component. To make it visible to LWC component, you have to annotate with aura enabled. Now, in the wire method, we know that we have to pass cacheable equals to true, but in imperative method calling, it is not mandatory to pass cacheable equals to true. Let's save without the cacheable equals to true and save this component now. See, successfully ran, no errors. Now go to our Salesforce org and put down that component onto this page. So the component name is imperative method calling. So let me find imperative method calling and drag and drop it here. Save. Changes saved. Now see, if I type Yash here and click onto this, you see hello Yash is here. If I type crazy cloud here and click hello crazy cloud is here. Correct. This is how we call an apex method by imperative method calling. What we have done here, we just fetched the input string with in this handle change, and on to click of the button we are calling the apex method. Nothing else. Nothing rocket science we are doing, right? It is very easy. Correct. So try to try to implement these things along with this video, and after watching this video make your own component, make your own conditions and practice everything, right? So if you have any doubt, please ping me on LinkedIn or ping me on this comment section below this video. And also, if you like this video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel if you have not done already. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much.